Okay, I'm not gonna trash on this movie as you think I am. Not at all. But I do have some things in this review that needs to be discussed that can make this movie a bit better in my opinion. So without further ado, let's do this. Yo, what is up, my Cinedroids? G to the S here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Disney's next animated entry, Encanto, about an extraordinary family called the Madrigals, who live hidden in the mountains of Colombia, in a charmed place called the Encanto, hence the title of the movie. The magic of the Encanto has blessed every child with a unique gift. Every child except Mirabel, played by Beatriz. However, she soon may be the Madrigal's last hope when she discovers that the magic surrounding the Encanto is in grave danger. Now, first off, of course, the CG animation looks incredible. I mean, heck, it's Disney for crying out loud. Their use of animation has always impressed me. Although, I do like their 2D hand-drawn style more than their CG style. But that's just me. Anywho, even the cinematography is no surprise to me. The company has been around since the early 1920s. Of course they stepped up their game when it comes to animation. All I have to say is great job. Let's see if you can keep this up from here. Even the voice acting direction from both Jared Bush and Byron Howard, as well as co-director Charisse Castro-Smith, was well handled. For the most part, I'll get to that in a moment. But I do think that they're having fun with their roles. I'll give them that. That's not a terrible thing at all. Now, as for the story, I liked it. I think it's an interesting and relatable concept, since I do live in a family that has their own gifts and I'm the only one who's different from everybody. But it's not like our house is alive or anything like that. That's a big no-no right there. I'm just saying, if our house did come to life, it wouldn't be like the one in this movie. It would straight up be something out of the movie Monster House. No sirree Bob. But logic aside, even though I thought it's a really fun concept to write for a movie, in terms of execution, I still feel a bit underwhelmed by it, to be completely honest with you. Again, not saying it because the movie was crap or anything. You guys on the internet are overreacting way too much. But it just feels a bit overwhelming seeing these characters bounce around and singing songs that explains life in the magical family community that they're living in. And in terms of character development, them singing about family life is not considered a bad thing. Not at all. But I wish they would just simmer down just a little bit, so that way I don't feel too crowded. That's all. And as for the voice acting, again, not to put shade on their performances in this movie, but in terms of the movie's comedic timings and humor, their character traits are a bit too cliche for me. Now, before you shove hate down my throat, it's not like they're bad characters. It's just that I've seen them before in other movies, but done better. Even the jokes felt a little flat. Sure, it's not like the jokes dragged on for way too long or anything, but they just felt a little too kid-friendly for me. Take the first Toy Story movie, for example. Sure, it's still kid-friendly, but the jokes in that movie were not only funny, but for a G-rated Pixar movie, most of the humor was surprisingly more adult than I expected. That's what makes it memorable. As for this movie, sure, kids can laugh at the humor in this movie, but as an adult like me, the jokes felt a little too kiddish. I even heard from a few people, especially my boss at work, say that Disney did not spend their time exploring the other rooms the family members received as their gifts of magic. Like, for example, there's this room that's filled with wildlife and zoo animals, and I wanted to see more of that place. But they just breezed right by it so that way we can get back to more family crisis moments that felt really rushed to me. Again, not saying it's a bad thing. You have to include those elements in this movie, but at least make it well structured and paced evenly. For me, it went the complete opposite direction, unfortunately, which is a bummer, because I just wish they would just even out scenes where they do explain why their house is in danger of collapsing. But in terms of the movie's use of dramatic and emotional moments, there's this one scene in the movie that was very emotional, and it does explain why their home is in danger, to a certain extent. But that's just one scene. Again, I just wish they would just play around with that a little more. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So overall, guys, in the end, I thought Encanto was okay. It's not the best, it's not the worst, I'm just somewhere in the middle. It's a safe movie for kids, so nothing against their enjoyment of the film. It's just that I wish they would just explore the universe a little more. And that they would just slow down the pacing just a teensy bit. Not too much. But still, if your kids do want to watch this movie again, let them have their fun. But as for me, I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I rate Encanto a 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, the truth is you can't win the entire internet over with your opinions on a certain film like this one. They may not agree with me, but hey, that's why opinions are a thing, right? They don't line up with other people's opinions all the time. But still, you can watch this movie with your kids if you want to. But for me, I would rather watch The Hunchback of Notre Dame instead. So, Disney's Encanto. Have you seen it? If you have, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Answers down below, please. Also, if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share it with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. Also, if you want a shout out in a future video, just follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and I will choose one of my Synodroids to be displayed as a shout out. The link's in the description below. And also, I have a TikTok account where I do whistling covers and I do singing duets with my sister every once in a blue moon as well. So if you guys are interested, the link's also down below in the description. And also, if you want to subscribe to my gaming channel, there's either a link in the description or at the icon card at the top right corner of your screen. Go over there, subscribe, and let's just have fun together. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.